first reorg that was done was a major conceptual change on how my area was approaching work in the organization. And upon coming in here, we were a very reactionary group. And there was not a lot of planning done. And what had happened was a set of software had been deployed to multiple different customers in different ways. So what we had was product X being deployed 8 different ways out in the organization, and product Y being deployed 8 different ways out in the organization. So when a customer came on, they got the current set of code regardless of what the previous customer got. So we had an environment that was almost unmaintainable, and we kind of needed to act like a vendor because we have 10 different vendors who provide us a piece of a puzzle. And all of our concentration was spent deploying software. And there was no what I would call core team who was responsible for building a product, and then we would take the product and implement it and try and maintain some customer interface and delivery team concept and a vendor product concept. So the organization was split into those 2 main entities, and the platform team handles all the vendor software, and then the delivery teams can scale. And basically, I've built the delivery teams around our lines of business, one for Medicare, and one for TRICARE, and one for commercial business. There was an intermediary reorg that kind of happened between the first one and the one that we're speaking of now. And Dan's platform team morphed over a year to be more than just a platform team. So they became an intermediary group who was handling the technical changes to the software. And the roadblock arose because there were multiple delivery teams trying to get work done, going through a funnel that was never really intended to be there. So over a year's period of time, resources had transitioned onto the platform team to do technical work, but the reality kind of came to the fact that we should try and make each delivery team as independent as it can be and be responsible for a customer expectation and then be able to deliver the product. And we would then hopefully have minimal interaction with the platform. Management team actually had a meeting off-site where we threw the concerns up on a board, and we kind of mapped people's skill sets to, I would say, if you take everything in our environment and lay out what people have to know, there's probably 50 items that someone would have to know. So we mapped people to the knowledge base and determined where certain skill sets lie, and then tried to align that most effectively. So I don't really think we could have done this. We might have been able to do it sooner, but there's a learning curve, and it's a fluid organization. So the first reorg was fairly radical, and then there were some tuning initiatives after that. I think it has worked. I think that there's more to it that still needs to come out, and a large part of any reorganization, in my opinion, is customer perception. And until we can have the customers perceive that what we're doing is more effective, then it's, it doesn't matter. So I think we're doing better, but part of my job now is to show that we're doing better.
So did it meet your expectations of what you hope to achieve with this reorg?
Yes, but we're still working through it. So
fine-tuning.
Yes.
And did you feel that there was, because of the way things were working before and there being bottlenecks, do you think there was team conflict between members, and has the reorg helped in any way to removing?
There was team conflict, and that was one of the issues that we became aware of. So this was designed to help that situation, and hopefully that was one of the components of what happened. There was a conflict between the delivery teams and the platform team. The delivery teams didn't have conflict among themselves. but they all had conflict with
Right.
what the
Do
platform was.
you think that the reorg has helped some?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I've been told that it has, and in looking at how the work is flowing, it seems to be going
Yeah.
better. So,
Okay.
based on the feedback that I get, they are happy.
You're happy?
Yes.
Okay.
There is some concern of skill gaps and knowledge gaps, and how do you bring people up to speed.
Right.
But, I mean, that's part of what we're trying to achieve.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
An organization is never a constant.
Right.
And it's fluid based on new contracts and projects and workload.
Okay.
So what I want to be is flexible enough to be able to accommodate change without major reorganizational changes.